Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where we spill tea left, right, and everywhere in between. Today's video is a mini tea of everything that's been happening on the internet recently. We have Trisha Paytas contradicting herself as always, PewDiePie sharing that he is tired of making content, and Nikocado Avocado backing out of the interview with H3H3, as well as going off on Ethan. But before we get into all of the tea, let me plug the Hot Tea Twitter account where you can keep up with any updates as well as send us stories that you want us to cover. Also, make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know when I post. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and comment down anything you want in the comments down below. Alright, let's get into the tea. The first cup of tea for the day is all about Nikocado Avocado and Ethan Klein. As you guys probably know, there has been some tea and tension between these two in the past month or so. Ethan has publicly shared that he wants to interview Nick on the H3 podcast. He wants to get to know him because he finds him very fascinating. And Nikocado, being the troll that he is, has been acting weird talking about Ethan. Initially, Nick was not into the idea of collaborating with H3. He had some negative things to say about Ethan, and he also kept calling Hila Heidi or Hilly on purpose to stir the pot. Nikocado even said that he doesn't see a point of an episode featuring him. He was all like, what are we even going to talk about? Ethan, on the other hand, has been very persistent to talk to Nick, and he thinks an interview with him would be interesting. They went back and forth for a bit. Some of their communication was broadcasted to us, the viewers, and people were interested to see where this interaction would go. Eventually, it was confirmed by Ethan that Nikocado would be featured in an episode of the podcast. Ethan also shared the demands that Nikocado had, and oh my, there were a lot of demands. Ethan described Nikocado as a diva, but he agreed to meet most of his demands. It was said that the interview would happen sometime in January, and now what? Well, the holidays have passed, we are towards the end of January, and there is still no interview with Nick. A few days ago, he stated that he is doing the interview only for the money and that he is just going to sit there and eat. Nikocado said that he could come up with some sort of strategy, but he doesn't really care and just wants his bag. Take a look.
I'm just gonna show up and be like, here I am. What do you want from me? I mean, I could like sit here and calculate and, come up with like a strategy. There's like a narrative or whatever. I'm just gonna sit there, get my money, and eat.
Next, Ethan made a comment on Nikocado. He said that Nikocado would have to bring his own defibrillator since they don't have one at the studio. Ethan also went on to apologize to Nikocado for his previous comments towards him. He said that he finds him funny and that he is a fan and curious to see what he's like in person. He's also really excited to meet him and have fun.
I'm a fan. I do think you're smart. I do think you're funny. There's no pressure. There's no expectation. I know I'm just goofing around and having fun. And maybe I've said some offensive jokes. I only say that because I feel like it's banter, all in good fun, and that we can joke with each other. But honestly, I'm going to be respectful, and I'm just really curious who you are as a person. I'm just super excited to meet you and just have a good time. So your expectations are reasonable. Your ask is reasonable. I'm more than happy to accommodate you. Just so you know, we do not have defibrillators at the studio. So this is a bring your own defibrillator affair.
Ethan also made fun of Nikocado asking Orlin, his husband / ex-boyfriend, I don't know, to pass him something.
That's fine. Orlin! You don't know much about me. I probably don't know much about you.
Orlin, grab the defibrillator, Orlin! My heart is stopping again. Orlin, hit the pacemaker! Oh, much better. Thank you, darling.
And lastly, apparently Nikocado is backing out of the interview. In a recent video, he shared that he made the decision not to participate and do the collab. He also said that he wasn't going to give the details of what exactly happened and that he isn't going into any drama on YouTube. However, he said that he put a story time on Patreon, and he apparently explained why he's not going and his side of the story.
I just made the executive decision to not go to that interview. I told them no. And I'm not going to tell you why on YouTube, what went down. I'm not going to go into the drama here. I just kind of want to move on. But I did put a story time on, well, you can check it out if you want to know, because a lot of people of mine they're not even interested, which is very evident by now, but I just put it on my Patreon account. So click the link down below if you want. You have to be a grown-up to follow me there, by the way. You have to be. But I just put my side of things on there, and I explained to you why I said no. I explained to you why I'm canceling. I'm not going. I'm not doing it. Click the link below.
Nice job cashing in on this, Nick. Someone commented saying, at least Ethan will give us the reason he backed out for free on his podcast. And they were right. Ethan actually made a video about Nikocado backing out on the interview. In his reaction, he said that he should be able to talk about the paid content and react to it regardless of the copyright because it's about him. He is making a commentary video and it's not republishing Nick's content. He said that he consulted his attorney and they said that it should be fair use. Ethan has now won a fair use lawsuit, so he's probably going to be just fine. However, I will use only screenshots and clips of Ethan's commentary because Nikocado has claimed videos before for no reason. Please, Nick, don't sue me.
I did talk to my attorney, and he assured me that as long as I've obtained it, legally, which I did, I've got the receipts, then it's totally within my right to react to it in fair use. So this is a fair use. The paywall actually doesn't matter. Many people don't know that. It's still fair for commentary. Just because you charge for something doesn't mean that people can't, react to it. You're charging content, you're talking about me. It's relevant. I got to talk about it.
Ethan started off by saying that he feels like Nikocado is milking the drama and using him. He is also confused why he backed out last minute. Ethan already paid for his hotel and his tickets. He mentioned that Nikocado's fee was $5,000. Not that sweet frenemies 5%, but it's still something. One of Nikocado's reasons for backing out was that people kept saying that Nick is the new Trisha replacement. I do agree they have been on the same troll level for a good while, but I doubt Ethan would want to go through that roller coaster again. The frenemies aftermath cannot be matched. There have been mean comments towards Nick's conditions, some coming from Ethan, things like Nikocado Avocado is fat, weird, etc. Meanwhile, Ethan said that it was jokes and he didn't have any bad intentions or of hurting Nick's feelings, but he feels sorry that he did.
The interviews I do are all respectful, and maybe it's been weird with him because we've had this kind of tit for tat. I mean, he's the one that started this whole reaction chain by reacting to a podcast clip, being with it all animated and talking smack in this. So I was like, he's trying to hype up the interview. So I made a reaction video trying to hype up the interview too, and I thought that's what we were both doing. And what's interesting is a lot of the comments were like, oh, he's just everyone's just hyping up the interview. I can't wait. Nick's not actually offended. He's just, and very much not looking for a Trisha Paytas interview. And a lot of people have been making that comparison, which I didn't like. I never thought that way. I genuinely wanted to have a real freaking interviews.
Ethan added that he thought it was a back and forth thing between them since Nikocado also participated. He also threw some shade and jokes right back at Ethan. He called Hila the wrong name as well. Another thing that troubled Nikocado was the sharing/lying about the demands and the conditions. Ethan said that he thought they were exaggerating and joking around as Nikocado also acted out as so, but Ethan also added that he probably should have toned it down on that and maybe discussed that with Nick prior to making jokes about it. Then Nikocado added that he got upset because when describing him to the H3 crew and audience, Ethan would go to discuss Nick's OnlyFans and spicy content. Nikocado made a claim that if it was a woman, they wouldn't have spoken about her like that, but low-key, I think they would have. Ethan defended himself by saying Nikocado's OnlyFans content is one of the reasons people talk about him and that they've made crazy reactions, I'm sure that one wasn't about me, and that his whole OnlyFans theme is this outrageous, ridiculous content. Ethan went on to say that those are claims of misogyny, and even if it was about a woman, he would have still acted the same way. Nick said that he felt degraded and he might as well get paid, make the most out of it, and get a trip at least. That was his initial plan about the interview. He also shared that his videos about Ethan don't perform well. Unlike with Ethan's, Ethan said logically it would be more beneficial to Nikocado than to him to have his collaboration because Ethan has the bigger audience and viewers of H3 were really interested in supporting him to have Nikocado on the podcast.
I think the real reason is that his videos about me were not getting views, and he was frustrated by that. He's like, well, I'm not even benefiting from this beef, so screw it. I don't know why. I mean, the ones I do on him people like, but for some reason his audience isn't interested. I don't know why.
Ethan commented that he's not sure if this was a real reaction from Nikocado, if he means what he is saying, or he wasn't really interested at all and just trying to cash out. He finds it hard to distinguish who is the real Nick and if Nikocado wasn't really considering going through with the interview in the first place.
It makes me a little suspicious that I got trolled or played or something, because why are you putting the explanation behind a $24 paywall? It's first tier. Why I'm no longer going on the podcast? Stop here. What the hell, dude?
It kind of seems like Nikocado is more concerned about the money aspect of the collab, which is understandable to an extent, but it gives off money-hungry Trisha vibes when you add the Patreon explanation. Ethan should have better agreements with future guests. From what we've seen from the frenemies breakup and this situation, there aren't distinct agreements dynamics between each three and the guests. Maybe previous guests on the show have been more laid back, but from now on, Ethan should provide more written/contractual agreements of what can be shared online with the audience and what should just stay between them. Ethan also pinned this comment in his video saying, "I don't know if I've made it clear enough in the video, but I am very sorry to Nick for taking the banter too far. I must have misread the room, even so some stuff I said was insensitive and I can understand why it would make him feel uncomfortable. Regardless, very sad the interview won't be happening, but I wish him well and think he is very talented and funny. Please do not send him any hate, y'all. Peace and love." And here's some of the comments people weighed. One user said, "I think Nick is actually nervous about answering real questions about his life. He kind of hints at it through his jokes and his videos. I don't think it's anything Ethan said, but it's rather Nick blowing up the interview because he is feeling more uneasy now that the interview date is so close." Another user said, "Yeah, I was super shocked to find out that he wasn't joking/bantering. He's definitely impossible to read. I agree some of Ethan's jokes were insensitive, but it definitely felt like an environment that was open for banter and making fun. Nick needs to stop dialing everything up to 100 if he wants people to take him seriously." And next, let's talk about the favorite on this channel, Trisha Paytas. Honestly, at this point, a Trisha T playlist is not enough. We may need a dedicated channel to Trisha and all the drama that she's in. But anyway, Trisha has been talked about a lot recently, from her claiming again a bunch of videos about her being exposed for her anti-Semitism throughout the years, and much more. And today we have more tea on Trish. The first one is about her casting a protection spell over herself and her husband Moses. In a video posted a few days ago, she said that she's protected from all evil eyes and ill intentions.
Love for us, I casted a protection spell against us, so if there's any evil eyes, I did a protection spell last night. I have my little altar set up and I have a protection spell against us, so we are good, we are free from all evil, and we are protected. And
Trisha, I think what you meant was ignoring the criticism and people trying to hold you accountable. Yeah, Trisha's latest spiritual/religious obsession has been being a witch/practicing Wicca, waiting to see what other religion she'll be interested in the new year. But anyway, Trisha also shared in a recent live that she didn't enjoy her time at the hotel that they stayed in Hawaii because there were a lot of kids. She then said, "It's not that I don't like kids, I want kids of my own, but there wasn't much peace and quiet."
now we stayed at the Grand Himalaya, and we had a beautiful ceremony, and everyone was really nice. The staff was really great, but it was under construction, so we didn't even really get to enjoy the beauty of the hotel. And it's also a very kid-heavy hotel. There was just a ton of kids. Not that I don't like kids, it was just like a lot, and I wasn't prepared for that. The last time I went to Hawaii, we did, I would stay at the Four Seasons, and Four Seasons is literally a no-kid hotel. So it was just like nice and like peaceful and like calm and quiet.
A user asked, if she doesn't like kids that much, why does she want to have kids? If you follow Trisha in the past month or so, you would know that she's been more open with her fertility journey and that her and Moses are going through procedures so that they can start their family. And it wasn't surprising that many of your viewers are concerned, and there's been a lot of negative opinions on Trisha becoming a mother. We're not going to discuss whether or not Trisha should have children or not. People are entitled to their own opinion, but we're discussing this topic. Trisha responded to the user's question by saying that it's one thing to want kids and that when you go on vacation, you don't want to be around other people's children.
It's just like, you know, when you don't have kids and you go on vacation, you don't want to be around other people's kids. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously I want to have kids, and obviously I want my kids to have friends and stuff like that, but it's just different when you don't have them yourself, you know?
And lastly, let's talk about PewDiePie. We haven't really spoken about him, and maybe mentioned him one or two times besides his relation to Adpocalypse. In a new video, he shared that he feels like he has been side questing YouTube and can't bring himself to take it seriously recently. Pewds also said that he wants to focus on videos that he really cares about, and he also mentioned that previously he cared too much about statistics, performance, and all the small little details. Someone advised him to start a religion, and I feel like we know who's going to be the most avid follower of any religion out there.
I think just doing the same kind of stuff is feeling very stale. Everyone's so nifty with YouTube though. I just can't be anymore. Like, I remember back in the day I was so like, okay, the most efficient way to do this video, is that thumbnail good enough? Oh, I gotta make a video, look at those, I can't be bothered. But it's like, if I don't care, it feels like I'm just gonna, like I'm failing, even though it's not really what I care about.
One user said, I think he should see it as a hobby again. That's how it began, which made him enjoy the platform. So he should do what he wants with it. His fans appreciate him no matter what. Another user said, he's been at this for so long and you can tell he's genuinely tired. I'm amazed that he's even still on YouTube. At this point, he should do what he likes to do because having a platform can be draining. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. I hope you liked it, and share your thoughts on everything that we discussed in the comments down below. I want to know how you feel about the whole Ethan/Nikocado Avocado situation. Were you excited for the interview? Let me know in the comments down below. And before we leave, I'm going to leave you guys with this clip so you can get Ethan Klein and Nicocado's face out of your head. And yeah, that's it. Bye-bye.